Hey, Big Mike Ford joining us, and he's a champion. The NPB champion, Nippon Professional Baseball League out in Japan. And obviously, many of our fans are following that league for a single individual player. We'll get to that later. But, Mike, great to have you on, man, and congratulations. Did you party hard?
Thank you. Yeah, we had a good time, and then 20-hour flight back the next day. So, just got back, still dealing with the jet lag a little bit, but had a great time. I got to do it with Tyler, who was a teammate from New York. So it's a bunch of fun.
Tyler
Wait, hold
Austin.
on. So how do they celebrate? No, wait, Kratzy, how do they celebrate in Japan?
Yeah.
Do you do a
That's
ticker
what I'm
tape
wondering.
parade? I mean, do you get rings? Like, how does this whole thing work? Because I don't know that I've ever talked to anybody that's – I'm sure I know somebody that has won a championship in Japan, but I've never really asked. Do you get rings? Do you do a parade? Do you get to go on, like, their version of talk shows? How does it work over in Japan?
Yeah, I mean, so the team I played for hadn't won in a while. So I think it was kind of up in the air, kind of the festivities after the American guys had left, the foreign guys had left. But I know for us, when we were there in the first round, we played Hanshin, and there was no celebration after the first round. So we just kind of said, all right, on to the next one. Went to Tokyo, and then they do beer showers instead of champagne showers. So it was a good beer fight in Tokyo. They do it in the hotel, not the stadium. So it's about 2 hours after the game, and then when we won at home, we obviously did it in the indoor facility. So not a locker room, so a little different, a little waiting around, but had a lot of fun doing it.
What kind of beer did you spray? Did you spray Sapporo beer in Sapporo?
No, I think it was Akashi. But I don't think I wasn't too concerned about looking at the label. Going over there was about midway through the year for me, so it was about 4 months, and I had an amazing experience. The country's filled with great people, really good food. It's really clean, and a great baseball atmosphere. But there's always a pull to come home, and it was let's have some fun tonight, and then I got to get on that flight. So.
Did you have fun? Did you have more fun than TA? Tyler Austin is who he was talking about when he said Tyler earlier. Obviously famous for fighting who we were just talking about, Joe Kelly, when it was a Red Sox-Yankees rivalry. So that's the TA, which we have to bust his balls today because he didn't come on, but you did come on the show after your 20-hour flight.
Yeah, no, TA had a good time. He had a big beer keg on his back during the beer fight, and I think he was, picking me out for a lot of it. So no, we had a good time. He's been there 5 years, so he's pretty comfortable over there, and it was really just nice to have him, kind of take me under his wing over there, show me the ropes a little bit, and kind of made the transition a little easier.
Mike, when you guys win the first round and they're like, we're not celebrating, did you say, listen, I played for the Yankees, okay? We celebrate right after we win every round, and then they didn't have champagne, so you're looking around like, what bottles are we popping? And then you had to wait 2 hours. Like, were you getting like withdrawal from? Because I would have been sitting there like, I'm just going to pour a beer on my own head here, right? Just because, like, what? Yeah, I just think I've been to Japan. I know it's a different culture and it's totally awesome over there. But I just think I would have been like, okay, I'm just going to pour. I would have went over to TA and just said like, hey, we're going to have our own little party here while we can.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. The first round, I was like, wait, you guys don't party after this? But just kind of, I guess, how they do things. That first round is the way the playoffs is set up is 2 versus 3, and then the winner of that goes on to play the winner of the league, so Central or Pacific. So I think that the main series is that last series, whoever wins 2 versus 3, and then plays the champion of the league. And then obviously the Japan series comes from those 2 winners. But yeah, we were kind of like, wait, what? And luckily we kind of did our own little thing. Each time I think we were all kind of like, hey, we got to get a beer on our hands. We just kind of won, so we sent one of the translators across the street to 7-Eleven, got some things started a little bit earlier. So it was a good time. Great group of guys.
Before I get into your crazy journey this year that just ended in a 20-hour flight, does TA know a lot of Japanese? Because I cannot see TA. He was my roommate when we played with the Giants together. We would commute in. Does he know Japanese?
He gets away with it. He can, he knows some phrases and different things. He's had the same translator for 3 years now. His name's Koki. He's a great guy, and he helps TA out. He knows TA pretty well at this point. So, Koki was great. He kind of works with the hitters at the big league level over there. So obviously Tyler was his guy for a while, and then helped me out while I was there. I had a different guy in the minor leagues show. But all the translators are great. They really make your life really easy, and that definitely helps the whole experience. I mean, without it, you'd kind of be lost, especially at the beginning. So.
You hit the crowds. Like, I've seen the crowds over in Japan. They're awesome. Is there any one thing that stands out to you about the crowds that maybe American Major League Baseball fans can take and could use? And did you get a nickname while you were over there? Like the station, like did they figure out how to say station in Japanese?
No, I think it was just kind of a given at this point. But no, they have like a chant for every player that they do while you're up to bat. It's really cool. The whole fan base kind of gets behind it. So my name was like Fordo. I was kind of like Ford. But honestly, I think the coolest part was, just how fans stayed at the game. We were playing in Hanshin. We were up 1-0, so it was the second game. We only had to win 2, and it was like 10-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the whole stadium was still rocking. Like, it was, just a great experience to see the fans still there and like really just backing their team at all times. I probably had some negative things said to me, but I don't know the language, so that was kind of easy to brush off. But it was mainly positive support for the team, which was a nice change of pace.
Love that. Yeah, the vibes are very high there in Japan. Sounds like it. So what would be your message to a player who's considering going overseas to play some ball? I know some guys are initially afraid of it. Forget the player side of it where you're saying, hey, it might be tougher to readjust yourself. But I think some people are just scared to obviously uproot their fam for a certain amount of time if they've got kids, or go to a foreign place. They don't speak the language, the whole deal. But then almost every player I talk to, especially if they're only there for a season or two, has nothing but great things to say. And we have a ton of players that listen to our show. So what would be your message?
I think Kratz can tell you too, having played together. I like things that I know. I'm at this point I'm a big homebody, but like I like kind of security and feeling like I know things around me. So for me going over, those were my biggest worries going over, was not knowing the culture, not wanting to misstep, and do something to offend anyone. All these things are running through your head because you kind of never been there. And I got there, and within like 3-4 days, all those tensions were alleviated. I mean, the translators really work hard with you. While they might not be there, like when you go home at night, they teach you how to do things. If you have a good group of teammates like I did, you can kind of do things together. I had a few guys, riding the train the first few times to the minor league complex, kind of helped me through that. But, all the life kind of worries went away very quickly. And it was just nice. It was a nice experience. The people are unbelievably nice, very quiet, clean, and, really cool place to be honest with you. It was a great life experience.
Let's be honest. They got the best toilets in the world. Okay, their toilets.
Wow.
I have one in my house. The greatest thing about Japan is the toilets.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say is,
we were like, this warm
just fine. That's
in the
it.
middle of the night, pretty nice. So it's something that will be going into a house in the future.
We're doing it wrong in most American toilets.
Yes, like if you haven't had a Japanese toilet, and if you haven't seen the South Park on Japanese toilets, it's pretty funny. And it's true. But if you don't have one, I'm lucky to have one. It is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
When it opens up, when you go, when you walk by,
exactly.
It's amazing. Amazing. So, and heated seats. I mean, there's a lot of features for this thing. But I didn't think we were talking about that today. But let me ask you, since we're talking about the difference between the toilets in Japan and U.S., what about the baseballs? Did you notice a difference in the baseballs? The stickier? Are they smaller? When you picked one up for the first time, did you say, man, this is just doesn't feel the same?
Definitely a little more tacky, I would say, but not like overwhelming. You know how you get some big league balls and they just kind of feel like a smooth rock, and you're like, man, this is going to slip out. I never kind of had that feeling with those balls. Maybe the seam's a little bit higher. Definitely more dead hitting the ball. I would say that. But that's, I think, kind of a new thing Tyler had said about, 2 years ago last year, the ball kind of wasn't as great to hit there. So I don't know if that's just kind of something they're messing with. But yeah, I mean, I think the pitchers that were on our team really liked the ball. Obviously, it's a little bit different. And the pitching is just so different that I think it kind of lends to that ball a little bit. I mean, maybe the radar gun isn't as blown up as much, but heaters have like incredible spin rate, and they come out from a different angle than the U.S. I mean, it's obviously not everyone's 6'6" over there and throwing downhill and 100. It's kind of the 6'1" and just kind of ride ball at the top. Splitter's obviously the equalizer, which probably gets some help from that ball too with the bigger seams. But it's the baseball itself definitely different, but not like an overwhelming change that I think you would have to accommodate to.
Shuto. What was it? Shuto and Mr. Baseball? The Shuto. Like Tom Selleck couldn't hit the Shuto.
Splitter?
That's what I'm assuming it was.
Splitter.
It wasn't the gyro ball that Daisuke threw up there that you could whack.
True.
Oh, they got they have 10 different names for every pitch. A shoot is like a two-seamer that doesn't drop. A two-seamer goes like this. The splitter fork is the same as the two-seamer to me, maybe a little bit slower. I actually sent Judge a pie chart of a guy we were facing over there that day. I think there's 9 pitches, and I was like, I don't think there's enough fingers for him to put down for this amount of pitches. But it was a great experience. I think pitching translates probably a little easier back to the States than hitting. It's just kind of a different philosophy, but it was cool to see the differences for sure.
That's awesome. It's a good story.
So, okay, we know you didn't face Sasaki, but have you heard of the legend of Roki Sasaki?
TS is really good. So I obviously didn't get to see it in person, so I don't have much comment on it. But Tyler, I think, faced him once or twice, but he said he's very good. And I think what we've seen is a lot of the Japanese pitchers that have come over have had success, and I think it's because they're a touch different than a lot of the guys that are in the U.S. Maybe just kind of splitters are really good generally, and I think it's just a different heater. Even though obviously he lights the radar gun up, but even the guys that are 94, 95 over there kind of really spin it well. So it's more location and stuff, and it was cool to see the difference and just try to adapt to it.
No, I love that. Well, thanks for the update, dude. Congrats on the championship. Really cool to have on the resume for life. Thanks for joining us, dude.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us, guys.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。チャンネル登録と高評価よろしくお願いします。